Okay, hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm so glad you guys are tuning back in, and if you are new, welcome. Make sure you hit that good old subscribe button down at the bottom. So today's going to be an eyeshadow look, a really simple look using the new Pinky Rose transition palette. I was pretty intrigued by this palette. Actually, let me zoom you guys in. So as I was saying, I was really intrigued by this palette. I had never heard of Pinky Rose before, but I did end up following them on Instagram. I forgot why I followed them. I think I saw their what was it called, like the Earth Hue palette, and I thought it was really pretty, and I really want to buy it, but I was like, you know, let me try this one first, and this is new. So this is the transition palette by Pinky Rose, and we're just gonna be doing an eyeshadow tutorial with it today, and I'm gonna going through my initial thoughts. It just came in the mail yesterday. I've never used it. I did open it, and I did swatch, I think, 3 shades. Yeah, I swatched 3 shades, and the swatches were okay, but I'm gonna give it a fair chance today with you guys watching. So I did write down some notes. First things first, like I said, I've never purchased anything from Pinky Rose before. This is my first time ever purchasing anything. I did find them on Instagram. So Pinky Rose is owned by 3 sisters, which I think is really cool. They do have a store in Sacramento, California, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the only store they have. Now Pinky Rose does have their own products, like I'm holding one of their palettes right now, and they're known for like their Earth Hue palette, which is really popular as it seems on Instagram. They're more like a Ricky's, so they sell their products along with like Morphe, LA Girl, products like that. So yeah, so they have Pinky Rose themselves do have eyeshadow palettes. They do have a contour palette. They do have lip glosses and liquid lipsticks. That's all I was able to find on their website. And this palette is in collab with a YouTuber by the name of Marianne Ramos. She's a YouTuber who I've never heard of prior to this palette. So this palette, seeing them post this palette on Instagram, that's how I saw it, really intrigued me to go ahead and check her out. And I will leave the link to Marianne's, am I saying her name right? It looks like it's pronounced Marianne. I will leave the link to her YouTube channel down below. She's a really beautiful woman. She's like a beauty guru. She's a mom. She seems like a really nice, down to earth person. She's really soft spoken. She seems really cool. So I will leave the link to her YouTube down below. This palette so basically right now up until some date, this palette does retail for $19.99, and then after that time it will retail for its full retail price of $23.99. so a $4 difference is not that bad. Shipping is, their flat rate US shipping is $4.99, and you get free shipping with $100 or more. So my order came up to like $25 and some cents, which is not bad. So as far as shipping goes, because I purchased this palette when it was like a pre-sale thing going on, they said that it wouldn't ship out until the 17th. I purchased mine like on the 10th of December, and they say, you know, because it's a pre-sale, purchases will not ship until the 17th, and it was maximum 2 per customer. I got my shipping tracking number on the 16th, and I received it yesterday, which is the day before yesterday, or was it yesterday? I received it yesterday, which was the 20th. So not bad shipping, super quick once it went out. And that's all I really have as far as details goes. So this is how the palette came. This circle came like in this square, and let me tell you, it was a bitch to get this out. So Pinky Rose is cruelty free. Nowhere on the website or on this packaging does it indicate that it is vegan, so please keep that in mind. This palette does contain talc and other things you will find in eyeshadow like the normal eyeshadow palettes. This is 18.6 grams, which equals to 0.65 ounces per shadow, which is not bad. These shadows are a pretty large size, and like I said, it came in here, and the packaging is really cute. And this is like a patent pending type of palette because it is a circle. And it just says the transition palette, Pinky Rose Cosmetics. On here on the back it says Pinky Rose x Marianne. So yeah, and then when you open it, this is the palette. So the packaging, let me just start off, it's really flimsy cardboard. It's pretty cheap packaging. It does not have a mirror, and I don't even think they'll be able to hold a mirror on this. This is a magnetic closure, so it is magnetic, but this is like really cheap, thin, flimsy cardboard on here, and it just says the transition palette, and it says www.pinkyrose.com here. So I watched Marianne's video when she's announcing this palette and going through how she picked the names and yada yada yada. And this is supposed to be centered around the transition shade, which is the largest shade in this palette. This shade is huge. So because I think she was saying, and please correct me down below if I'm wrong, like, you know, you run out of your favorite transition shade. With this palette you get a larger size, and these are shades to accompany it. And she went through how she picked the names, and on this side it's more for day look, and this side is more for nighttime. And then of course every palette is complete with a matte black. So pretty good. You get 2, 4, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 shades, so 8 around in the transition shade in the center. And I'm gonna give you guys swatches more towards the end, but really quickly we're gonna do a quick tutorial. And like I said, I've never used this prior to today, so we're gonna get into it. You guys are all zoomed in. We're gonna see what look we can create with this palette. So first things first, I'm gonna take my matte Painterly paint pot, and I'm just gonna prime my lids with this. I'm just giving I need a new eyeshadow base. Like, I'm not even joking, like I need a new eyeshadow base. I'm probably gonna try the full size of the, what is it, who makes shadow insurance, Too Faced. So we're gonna first go in with the transition shade. Now this transition shade seems a little light for me. It's pretty light for my skin tone, so I'm not gonna use that for my transition shade. I'm gonna actually just use this simply to set my base. So I'm gonna just set everything with that transition shade so that blending is a little bit easier. And I find, I never used to do this, but I find, just like everyone says, it just makes blending easier. So if you don't do this step like I do, I would say just try it out. But of course, if what you're doing now works, then you do you, girl. Also, you hear some banging. They're installing something, don't know what, and they're just being really obnoxious right now, but whatever. So for my transition shade today, oh, this shade Honeybee has been calling my name. This is like an amazing transition shade for deeper skin tones like Honeybee, but we're gonna try Spice Girl up here, right here, for our transition shade today. And I'm just gonna take my MAC 224 and I'm gonna dip into that shade. It's a really nice medium tone brown. I really don't know what look I'm gonna do today, but we'll figure it out as we go along. And I'm just gonna blend this as my transition shade. And all these shadows are matte. I forgot to mention they're all matte, and 2 are shimmers, even though Honeybee seems more like a satin type of shadow, but I'm not sure. And I'm just really trying to build this color up on the eye. So that shade built up okay. It was a little patchy, but I don't know. So we're going to take a blending brush and we're gonna go into the shade. Let's do Miss Thang, which is right here. Let's blend that shade into the crease. This is more like a red tone brown. It's pretty. This shade is blending a little better. And then we're gonna take that same brush and go into the shade Knockout, which is right here. And we're gonna blend that shade more into the outer V, just to give it a little dimension. This shade is pretty. I don't know if I want to do an all matte look or what. I haven't done an all matte look on this channel in forever. Like, all my tutorials, I think, for the last couple months have been a shimmer. So on the lid, we're gonna do that transition shade because it's a pretty light shade. I'm probably just gonna add real quick though, whatever's left over on my angle brush from my paint pot. I'm gonna add that on first, just so that that matte shade can really pop on the lid. There's nothing left on this brush. So yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of the paint pot, just a tiny bit, so that lid shade can be pigmented. And then I'm gonna take this Sephora brush and pop that transition shade on my lid. So not bad for the eye look. Not bad. It's a simple matte look. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some liquid liner and some lashes, and you guys know the drill. I'll be right back. So I didn't realize I didn't hit record. So the only thing I did was, so I went off camera and added liner and lashes, and on my lips I have the NYX liquid suede lipstick and Club Hopper. And in my inner corner, what you guys missed is I just popped this shade here, Glamazon. Yeah, this shade here into my inner corners, and the look is pretty much done. So I'm gonna give you guys an up close on the look. ready to pretty much give you guys my initial thoughts on this palette. So for one, and I'm gonna get into swatches afterward. I will leave a marker right here where you can skip to the swatches if you want to skip this part. These shadows are pretty powdery. They do kick up a decent amount of products. They are matte, but they're more on the drier matte side. So if you have like dry lids, I would say make sure you use a pretty nice base. I would say with these shadows, using them on my eyes, the pigmentation isn't that bad, but I've had better. I've had a lot better. It's not that bad though. The shimmers, I only use glimmers on in my inner corner, and it isn't popping the way I would normally like it to, but that'll be something that I'll really be able to tell once I swatch it. I do like the concept of the palette and how it is centered around the transition shade. We all, as makeup lovers, we all know that the transition shade really ties the look together and just makes everything just blend really, really well. Like I said, that's a little light for my skin tone. So for my transition shade, I would really use like these 4 shades here. So Honeybee, Spice Girl, Foxy, and Miss Thing. Those for me are ideal transition shades for deeper skin tones. But if you are of medium to light skin tone, this big baby right here would be amazing on you. Like I said, they're a little powdery. I've had better mattes, but these did blend pretty nicely. I felt like Spice Girl was a little patchy. If out of all the shades I use, which is Spice Girl, Knockout, Transition, and Glamazon, and Miss Thing, Knockout is my favorite shade that I've used. It's a really pretty shade. I love how it pops on my eyes, even though my lid is so neutral. I love the way it pops in my transition. So yeah, I would give this palette like a 6 out of 10 because it's not that bad, but I've had like better matte quality. It is really, really powdery. Even the shimmers are really, really powdery. And this transition shade is just too light. Had she went with a more universal transition shade, then I would have felt a bit better about it. But this is a transition shade that is suited for like her skin tone. And these mattes are also more on the drier matte side. So really quickly, I'm gonna give you guys some swatches. So for swatches, I'm gonna swatch them on my arm. I'm not gonna add a base. Maybe I'll add a little bit of base. I have this little itty bitty Shadow Insurance by Too Faced. I'm gonna add a little bit of a base because I feel these shades will need it. So the first shade I'm swatching with my finger is Foxy, and Foxy is like this tangerine orangey type of shade. And like I said, shades like this are really great for a transition shade for deeper skin tones. The next shade is Spice Girl, and Spice Girl may not show up as much on my skin, but it's like a really nice medium tone brown. That's Spice Girl. The next shade is Honeybee, which is like perfect for deeper skin tones. Add the transition. It's like that mustard, like that mustard greenish brown. Like I love shit like that for transition. The next shade is Miss Thing, and this shade is really, really pretty. It reminds me a little bit of like Brown Script by MAC. It's like that reddish brown. So that's what that one is. And then you have the actual transition shade in the palette, which is like this really, really, really tan shade right here. Like I said, it's really too light for my skin tone. And now we have my favorite shade of the day, which is Knockout. Knockout, I should probably switch hands. Can you guys see that? Probably not. I'm gonna switch hands. On this hand, I'm not gonna add a base to see how they perform without the base. So here we have Knockout. It's a really like beautiful like berry shade. I love the way it pops on my eyes today. And then we have the last 3 shades. The first one, this next one is a shimmer, and this is Posh. And it's like this is not coming up pigmented at all. It's like a silvery type gray shade. This shade is absolutely not pigmented at all. Like, it's not. I'm gonna try applying it with a brush to my hand and see how that works, because it's not coming up pigmented at all. It's looking a little bit better, but I just like dug my brush into there. So this shade is lacking pigmentation like crazy. The next shade is Glamazon, which is like this nice peachy gold shade right here. That's Glamazon. And these shimmer shades are really like chunky. They're coming up really chunky, and that's Glamazon. The pigmentation is a lot better than Posh. And let me try that one with a brush as well. And that's Glamazon. The pigmentation is better than Posh, but it's not that great. And then the last shade is She Devil, which is a matte black. That is like black, the pit of my soul black. Like, that is really black. And this has no base. Look at that black. That black is really nice. Really nice. So those are all the swatches. It's okay. Like I said, I've had better mattes. Really powdery. I don't like these shimmers in this palette. I'll probably use Glamazon, but I'll probably almost never use Posh. If anything, I'll use it like in my inner corner. I don't like the shimmers in this palette. I would say for the price, check it out. I only spent 25 bucks, so I don't mind that. And this is my first Pinky Rose purchase. Like I said, their Earth Hue palette is really popular, and the swatches of that are like bomb. And Honeybee actually looks like one of the shades in that palette. I'm quite sure some of these shades look like shades in that palette, like, but I don't own it to tell you that for sure. But for 20 bucks, I say test it out. Even for $23.99, I say test it out. I don't like Posh. That's the only shade I can honestly say I really don't like. Spice Girl went on a little patchy. This She Devil is really, is a really nice black. I say test it out for the price. Had this palette been even $30 and I was like this, it would have went back. But it's okay. It is okay. I'm not mad at it. I really do like the look that I created. So that's the reason why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Is because I do like the look that I created with this palette. This really neutral, all matte look. So it's okay. I will leave the link to this palette down in the description bar if you want to purchase it or look on the website. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want, check out this palette. Like I said, I'll leave the link to it down below, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah.